Hi, everyone. Welcome back to Lisa's Love and Light. Thank you all for being here today. How are you guys doing this Tuesday afternoon? It's actually stopped raining. I'm glad about that. Um, Thank you all for being here, and thank you for the new subscribers, as well as the old subscribers. Thank you all for being here and taking the time to show up and listen to the message. That's so important. Um, so I'm really happy about that because what that means is that the messages are resonating with you guys. And that's great because if I can share my experiences and how I got through grief, pain, and trials and tribulations, um, it may help you with your own circumstances. The information that I share here, how I got through things and how I'm still getting through some other things as well. It may help you with your own circumstances and situations. So thank you so much, guys. I really appreciate that. With that being said, I hope everyone is doing well. And please keep in mind that I'm not a therapist, social worker, or a counselor. I'm someone who's gone through hell and back, been through hell and back, trials and tribulations right on top of one another. And I talk about those things without giving specific details. And then I talk about how I am getting through them or how I got through them. So I'm glad these things are resonating with you. Perhaps if you are going through something, that maybe what I'm saying here can help you as well. Okay, guys. The topic of discussion today is boundaries and respect. It's so important to get other people to respect you, especially when you're healing and you're deciding to set boundaries, which is so important. I didn't understand that so much until my therapist kept emphasizing because I was going through a lot when I started this healing journey, a lot of interruptions, a lot of setbacks, delays, and people trying to, just give their 2 cents, so to speak. And I had to be courageous and just set boundaries and stick to that because, guys, your physical and mental health is everything. It's nothing to play with, and it's a priority. And if not, it should be, because without your mental and physical health, you can't help yourself or take care of anything else or help anyone around you. So it's very important that you take care of yourself. And I wish I would have realized that sooner than later because I could have been on this journey a long time ago. But I was so subservient to other people because I wanted people to like me and I wanted to fit in. Because as if you looked at yesterday's video, I talked about that being a black sheep, um, being different from everybody else, and just marching to a different beat of the drum. And people, in today's world don't like that. And I had to learn to love myself, like myself, love myself. And what that meant is that I had to go through a whole, how do you say that, reconditioning of my mindset. Everything that I was taught growing up, I had to change that, look at that, um, and change it to who I am, and what fits me, and not care about how someone, whether they liked me or didn't like me, especially when it's unjustifiable stuff that's going on behind the scenes. And so I just had to take care of myself. And at first, it was a lot of pain because I had to wake up and realize that people, whether it was family members or so called friends, did not really have my back and was not supporting me. And when I say support, just supporting the things that I was doing in my life, going to college, writing books, and doing things that made me me. And I was considered weird and, you know, like I talked about yesterday, an uncle who used to say, "Oh, I think she's a doctor." They just shun me, in any every which way that they can. and which caused a lot of pain. But as I turned to God and prayer and started, and my therapist helped me with a pro and con list and to look at my life and see what I need to clean up. And so I did those things. It wasn't easy. I started really in 2020 up until now, because I had to learn to love me, and that however I am, I'm okay. It was important for me to be my authentic self. And people, when you get on this journey and you decide that you're going to heal your pain, grief, and toxicity, um, you have to wear a hard armor. And what that means, you have to get to a point where you don't give a damn about what other people say about you, especially when it's without a justifiable cause and when it's not true. You have to take care of yourself and put yourself as a priority. And to some people, it's going to be selfish because they're used to the old version of yourself. For me, giving all the time, not getting the proper rest because I'm so busy being subservient to other people and neglecting myself. And I had to learn to change that mindset, and that I was just as important as the next individual. It doesn't matter what they're thinking, because they were always in a position to take and not to give anything. And I had to realize that through the pro and con list that I had to do. And once I realized that, I asked God to help me to change that for the better. And I have done so. And one of the ways I did, I started was by setting boundaries. And people don't like boundaries. When they're used to you being subservient and they can come knock on your door anytime, contact you any time of the night, and you just jump, skip, and hop, they're not used to boundaries. So when you start setting those boundaries, and if you've ever been in a position like myself, people don't like it and they feel some kind of way. So, they try to overstep those boundaries, dismiss them, dismiss what you're saying that's important to you. And I had to flip the script, meaning I had to reiterate those boundaries. And when the disrespect started and continue, I had to cut off, block, and delete. At first, it was real painful. I was in tears a lot because, my inner circle was getting smaller and smaller. But that's okay because I matter just as much as the next individual. And I had to take care of me. And the next step was getting people to respect me. When people are dismissive of you and what you're saying to them, and especially when you're talking about how you're feeling or how something they did, how it made you feel in a negative, and how can we get through this to correct it? And they just dismiss you, girl, sit down, shut up kind of attitude. I had to flip the script on that and make people respect me. And if they didn't, cut off, block, and delete, because that is ongoing toxicity. And when you're on a journey to heal, you want to minimize the toxicity in your life, not let it grow, because all those things will continue to affect your mental and physical health if you don't get a hold of it. And so I had to do that as well. And as I did that, my inner circle got even smaller, you know. And I had to be courageous because, you know, it just felt empty. However, it made me see the lessons that I didn't learn because, like I said, and always say, life is a learning experience. People and situations and circumstances come into our life for a reason, season, lifetime, or a lesson. And for me, unlearn lessons. And it took me a while to learn these lessons. As I learned them, those doors closed. And as I stayed in prayer and asking God to help me and fulfilling the vows that I made to Him, one of the vows was to show up here and to help others. Um, God started taking steps behind the scenes on my behalf as I took steps for myself. And I start to see that over and over again. So if God is for me, why should I care about who's against me? Because God is the source. And for me, if people can't respect, I'm going to put it out there like this: if people can't respect you and how you feel, and if they're dismissive of that, it really shows how they truly feel about you in general. They can tell you with words, positive things and blah, blah, this and that. But the actions speaks louder than words. It will show you how they truly feel about you, especially when you get to the point that you tell someone, I need to set boundaries because I need to heal from etc., so forth, and whatever. And they dismiss it and dismiss you like it's not important because it's not about them. Then it's time to think about these individuals. It doesn't matter if it's family, friends, relationship, whatever. It's time to set boundaries. And when those boundaries are being dismissed, it's time to think of a new strategy on how you want to deal with that so that you can continue to stay on a journey to heal your grief and pain and to have time for yourself, because it's important on a daily basis to take out time for yourself. That's part of self-care as well. And if others don't understand that, it's a selfish motive on their part, and they're not understanding what your needs are. And to me, that's very serious. And I just cut off, block, and delete. And I don't look back at this point of the journey because I matter. As I said about you guys, you matter just as much as the next person. Don't let anyone tell you anything different. In a lot of cases, not only do I cut off, block, and delete, just the silent treatment, because some of these people, after you do that, they try to contact you other ways, which I've gotten hip to, and I just don't respond. The best medicine for people like that, many of them were narcissists, is the best medicine for that for me was 100% silence so that I can stay focused on my journey, on my healing to help others, and in prayer, and fulfilling my vows, which is so important to me. And things have gotten better as I close those doors to the past. God has been opening up new doors slowly as I learn these lessons and move forward. So it's so important, guys. And don't allow anything to distract you from healing and getting on this journey and staying on it. You're going to fall a couple of times. Okay, that's fine. We're human. Get right back up and keep going. The key factor is to never give up on yourself, to love yourself. How can somebody else give you love or love you if you don't even love yourself, or if you don't even think you're worth it? So changing a mindset on these things has helped me tremendously to know that I'm worth it. It doesn't matter the noise, what haters or anybody else is saying. There will be people who love you and love what you're doing. There will be people who will be haters, you know, and I have noticed that, and I just keep moving forward. But the key factor for me is staying in prayer, asking God to help me as I take a step in the direction of healing. So, guys, continue to show up here and do that. The message is short today because I have to return to work, but I wanted to stop by and encourage you. You are important. Don't give up on yourself. Notice the people around you and those who have your back and who support you and uplift you. Cling to that because it's not many in the world like that today. That's the message. It's better to be uplifted and acquire inner peace than to be broken down into pieces. That's the message today, guys. And I'll see you sometime tomorrow. Please subscribe to the channel because in that way you will always get a notification as to when I'm on. And if you want to be here live, please join me. I welcome you. Thank you again. Have a great day, guys. Bye for now.